Hi, I'm Wayne and this is Bassador Woodworking. Right now I am at my computer editing the video you're watching right now and realized I didn't have any kind of intro. So this is that intro. In this video I finished the base. I began day 3 by marking the bridge location using the template. With the bridge location marked, I drilled a hole for the bridge's grounding wire. With the hole for the wire drilled, I drilled my pilot holes for the bridge and mounted it. The ground wire is attached to one of the screws holding the bridge in place, and it will be soldered to the volume control on the other end. So like it will be wrapped around this screw. Right. And just chase this down through that hole. Pops up in here. Next, I installed the pickups and secured them in place with the provided screws. It was time to wire the pots. The footage of the soldering has a lot of me burning myself and swearing at myself, so just trust that I soldered all the connections following the wiring guide and mounted the hardware into the pick guard. Getting the pots to seat completely in their cavity was a challenge. I had to repeatedly remove more material using a chisel, but eventually I got a perfect fit. And that screw locks in place. Okay, now as long as the rest of this goes well, then we'll have a base. My biggest fear is that as soon as we string this up and put it under tension, the neck will snap.
How would the neck snap?
I don't know. Just, it's on my list of fears. Alright, let's do frets on this thing. When mounting the frets, I ran the saw through each slot to clear any debris and to ensure that the slots were still deep enough for the frets following the process of radiusing the fretboard. I then snipped off the excess fret and completely dressed the frets, ensuring they are all level with one another and all their edges are flush with the edge of the fretboard with no sharp edges present.
So good, ladies and gents.
We also have to check to make sure all the frets are level. They look pretty level, but that doesn't really mean anything. I signed the head of the base with my initials and covered it in another coat of shellac. I I installed inlays on the neck. I simply drilled a shallow hole and then used super glue and an activator to set the inlays. I followed the same process for the inlays on the side of the neck. Next, I installed the machine heads, which was very straightforward. I conditioned the fretboard with some walrus oil. I don't know if this was the best thing for a fretboard, but it's largely citrus oil, so I figured it was close enough, and now I can eat off of my fretboard if I so choose. Alright, this can now be attached. Next, I attached the neck to the body using a neck plate and the provided screws. All that was left was to string the base, cut the slots in the bone nut, and to tune it. We have to tighten this down to the point where it lays on the nut where it's going to lay, and then I move it to the side. I cut the slot for it with a file. I did end up having to tweak the truss rod and add a small shim to the neck to get the action where I wanted it. It is still a little bit high, but I could not put off playing this thing for any longer. So I need to cut a little notch there. The base is complete and I am absolutely in love with it. This is my dream base. It is a lot of fun to play. There's still a couple of little adjustments I need to make just as I break it in and as I use it. I'm sure I'll change a couple of little things, but overall I am extremely happy with it. So thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to keep up to date with new projects as they are released. And until next time, thank you.